Hey everyone, this is Daria from meshbodyaddicts.com, and today I'm here looking at Catwa's Kimberly mesh head. Now Kimberly was the second Bento head released by Catwa, and it has quite a different look, so let's take a look at it. Go into pose stand, and let's take a look. Now, like all of Catwa's Bento mesh heads, it comes with 24 animations, a bunch of skins and makeup, Omega compatible, and all that sort of good stuff. In this instance, I've got Insole's skin on, Elena from Uber this round, because I really like the way that it looks on this mesh head. I've tweaked this shape a little bit to make it my own, and we'll take a bit of a look about how you can do that now. So first things first, this mesh head has had a few updates done to it. Notably, some of the rigging has changed from its very initial release, and that's just to give it more versatility when it comes to making your own shape, and as well as giving the animations a more realistic look, which I'm a big fan of. So let's take a look. Now, Kimberly kind of reminds me a bit of Gwen, I suppose, if I was to compare it to a previous Catwa head. That's mostly because of the nose. She's got like a cute little round nose in her default shape. Now, the question that I get from a lot of people is, well, can I just buy one Bento mesh head and do everything I want with it? The answer is yes and no. When a mesh head is created, it's given a default shape. And that default shape is the shape you're given when you buy the mesh head. From there, the animations are created to make them look, smooth and realistic. The rigging and weighting is done, and that becomes the Ruth, I suppose, for that mesh head. Now, because of whatever shape the default is, the changes that you make to it will differ between mesh heads. So, for example, on a very similar shape to I use with Catwa, you can see I've got a bit of a wider gap here between the teeth. That nose is always quite round, no matter what I do to it, and the lips are quite mid-range in terms of size. But that said, you can, as always, change the shape. Depending on your skin, the shape changes you make may look more normal or more bizarre. So make sure that if you're changing your shape and things are looking strange, it may be your skin. Because the skin, we're stretching it. Whenever we change the shape, we're stretching that skin. And sometimes you'll end up in a spot where the skin doesn't necessarily match that shape, and it will give you a stranger look than what you're used to. The other thing to be aware of is when you change shapes frequently, or you're starting to make one from scratch, it can get a little bit balked. So if it's just looking the way it shouldn't, you can right click anywhere on your body, go to appearance, go to reset, and go to reset skeleton. And that will reset the entire shape for you. And if your face is out of alignment, it'll fix that too. It won't for me because mine isn't, but just so you know. So in terms of the head, this one has a slightly rounder chin, a less pronounced chin, and I've found it easier to give it a more round, natural look than give it a more of a pointy chin look. The nose, as I mentioned before, I suppose is the biggest differentiator, although that said, you can, narrow up the nose as much as you want to using sliders. You can try and point the nose up or make it, more bulbous, increases, the size of the bridge, all sorts of stuff. So that, there are still changes there for you to make, but you can kind of tell that the default shape is kind of to have that more cutesy type nose, I suppose. So if you're interested in this mesh head, like I said with all of them really, put a skin on it when you're demoing it. Whether it's just a Catwa applier you have lying around or one that you use often, put it on so that you can have a look and see what the changes will look like with the skin that you prefer. So quick run through with Catwa. Of course, you get the 24 animations. This is the main control HUD. This is the animations HUD. So this is where you'll go to click to make your mesh head animate and look happy or sad or terrified or whatever else it is you're trying to do. I must be in lag town because this is not working for me. Don't crash, SL. Don't crash. Just don't do it. Hopefully it doesn't. It's already crashed on me 3 times while trying to record this one. Something about it. So, why are you doing that? Oh dear. Put money on the fact that I'm going to crash out. Let's try reattaching that one, see if that works. Doobity-doobity-doo. Pull faces. So I'm going to keep this in here because if worse comes to worse, I will show you how we go about fixing this. First thing I always do, reset skeleton and anim, because that will reset both your skeleton and any animations that you're using, which is why it's just kicked me off of my my pose stand there. Then let's try using an animation again. Nope, she just doesn't want a bar of it, guys. Alright, big red button time. Hard reset. Be aware if you do a hard reset, it's going to wipe everything. But sometimes you just have to hit the big red button. So there we go, hard reset. Let's put my ears into mask mode. That's looking sexy. Let's try now. There you go. So probably because I'm switching between so many Catwa mesh heads at once, I'm terrible for it. It went and got a little bit stuck. So let me try and find my insole skin again. Apply it. There we go. Now you're looking a bit more human. And first thing I always change is the upper eyelashes because I love the big bushy eyelashes. And the hair base as well because it's always like so super dark. But I might just clear that one for now. And there you go. Using the big red button. Free tutorial with your review. Anyways, as I was saying, the animations HUD is what does all of the fun stuff that we like to do, like pull faces, make it look really sad. The main HUD, as you saw me used before, has hair bases in it. It has teeth options within it, eyelashes, show and hide, so you can hide ears or tongues or eyelashes. I always tend to hide the inner bit of the eye, just because it always looks a bit bizarre to me. Body fat, you can change how thick the neck is. If you have, say 5 on the slider of body fat, you can click 5. You can diffuse his tint, so you can tint all these things. Shininess, so you can increase the specularity. Eyebrows and eye makeup, neck tattoo, you can save these and use them in here. Blush, lipstick, skins, and ear textures. So the main HUD is really where all of your textures are going to go and all of your looks are going to go. The animations HUD is what you're going to be using when you really want to be playing around with those animations. I love that one. Eyes mood. So if you're not blinking, eyes mood, you need to make sure you have one of these clicked. If you've clicked, for example, eye open, it will stop the blinking because it's created a static open. If you click on eyes mood with the double triangle, that keeps it going at a steady pace. If you do it at 1, she'll blink super slow. Same with default lips. You can click on where you want your lips just to sit by default if you want like a little smile or a little smirk or, just to be closed and standard. She just keeps rolling her eyes. It's awesome. So that's the Kimberly mesh head. I think that for those who wanted Katya to be a little bit more round and feminine, and a little bit more, I suppose, in the vein of Jessica and Gwen, but not quite there, then these are going to be the mesh heads that you'll be interested in going for. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye.